talking about? What we talking about? I can do this all day. What we talking about? What we talking about? What we talking about? I ain't feeling what you saying. What we talking about? From time to time, every set of brothers argue. You gotta listen in to catch a glimpse here from our view. I finish every debate that I'm in. Gonna start it up. Same time tomorrow, we run it again. Ain't no stopping us. What we talking about? What we talking about? I can do this all day. What we talking about? What we talking about? What we talking about? I ain't feeling what you saying. What we talking about?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we back for another episode 31, season 5. We're gonna give ourselves a round of applause in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a two-man team tonight. We got my man Key in them streets, probably 9 times out of 10. JD out, so it's me and D Springs holding it down for the crew.
You already know.
It's all good, man. You know, the show don't stop just because 1, 2, maybe even 3 be out. Who knows?
Exactly. Got to keep it moving.
You know, my man D Springs representing them Clemson Tigers. He representing your shirts today.
Hey, man, just got finished working out, and my kid just got finished, getting his workout on. So we just trying to, stay healthy and get right and get them ready for the, this gridiron game, 7-on-7. Man, listen, I'm driving Miss Davy out here, man. But hey, as long as she happy, I'm happy. We all in.
Look, them the Springs, boy, they getting that weight off them, though. Them boys be swimming in that household.
Hey, man, I'm trying to, man.
Look. Like, nah, I ain't eating that. Ain't in my workout regimen.
Hey, man, look, I'm trying
to the bacon and all
Hey,
that.
man, I can't do that no more, man. Look, I'm trying to live. Hey, look, I'm trying to live. I'm trying to slim it down. You know what I'm saying?
No more.
Nah, I can't have that no more. No, sir. No, sir. Can't do it. I got on the scale this morning. I was 234. So I'll see what I got. I probably won't weigh myself no more until tomorrow. If I get down to about 215, 200, I'm good.
What's your normal weight? Before you told
Achilles. Oh, if I told Achilles, I was 235.
Okay.
Before I told Achilles. When I told Achilles, everything went out the window. Like, you can run, you know what I'm saying? You eating stuff. Yeah, you see stuff that you want to eat, and you like, man, hell, I get it off after I get this Achilles, right? But then now it's like,
that's a tough injury.
Yeah. So now it's like, I'm doing a lot. I'm starting to run on it more. I went and got me the right kind of sneakers, so I'm starting to run on it more. Starting to do like little cutting and little things like that. So, but at the end of the day, my experience with it, I think what saved me, mine never popped, but they popped it when I went to sleep.
Okay.
Because it was holding on by strings. And she said, like, when I went in before I got everything done, she was like, yeah, like, if you'd have made any like bad movements or cutting, it was gonna pop on you. Yeah, so they popped it. So they popped it when I was asleep. So I think that helped me a lot. And then when they reattached it, they were able to do it evenly. Yeah. So they ain't had to do nothing but like just reattach it and keep it even. But listen to other people how their experience was. Like, man, I don't really feel the pain that more people feel with it. So I'm just like, okay, I got lucky this time. So that's why I ain't even trying to go through that stuff that they went through. Like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's only tough though. It ain't no easy injury, that's for sure. Especially as you get older.
Oh yeah,
your body just don't heal like you used to.
Exactly, and see, I have to be real careful anyway because you don't want the right one to go. Because most times people say if you tell your left one, majority of the time that right one, you can make a mistake with the right one. So it's like, hey,
like sometimes you
overcompensate. Exactly. And then that's what I boot. I'm gonna tell you, my best friend with that scooter. That scooter, that was my best friend. That scooter was my best. Them crutches,
scooter, bro.
Man, listen, I don't give a dang. That doggone, them crutches wasn't cutting it, bro. I had to get that scooter. That scooter was the best thing. You can roll around and do what you got to do. The scooter was the best thing that ever could have happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
all good, but let's get into it.
Yes,
And,
sir.
right now, NFL is never off. No matter the off season, it's all year round. So right now, the
Exactly.
NFL is in Indianapolis at the Combine.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to talk about the omission of the HBCU players at the normal NFL Combine. So the HBCU had their Combine a couple weeks ago. So my question is, do you think the NFL should just combine the HBCU Combine with the regular Combine?
Me personally, I just think that the NFL Combine should invite players from the HBCU. Like they invite players from the. I mean, football is football. You know what I'm saying? And people, it's like you segregate. You know what I'm saying? Just because you didn't go to a Power Five, or we're going to segregate them, and then we're going to put the HBCUs over here. Well, you don't do that with D1 AA.
Yep.
You invite D1 AA kids.
Yep.
So what's the difference? Because if you look at HBCU, all the HBCUs, majority of them are D1 AA anyway.
Yeah, no doubt.
So what is the difference? I just think it's not fair, and they always and this is the thing I have issue with. Now they exclude us from things, but then but they always want us to include them when we have things, and to me that's a problem, because at the end of the day, a football player is a football player, and a lot of the football players, the best football players that are in the NFL, and a lot of them that are in Canton, Ohio, guess where they came from? HBCUs. You got the Walter Paytons of the world, the Jerry Rice of the world. You got my man used to play with the Giants linebacker, went to South Carolina State. You got a lot of dudes who are in Canton, Ohio, play the HBCUs.
Thanks.
So at the end of the day, why not include these other kids? Why you should? What they're afraid of is this. You got a lot of guys in the HBCUs might run faster times or have better workout ethics than these guys at the Power Five schools. Yep. And they don't want that, because once they see that these kids running 4.25, you know what I'm saying? Because they want to consider this all about speed kills. You bring some of them kids over there, and they start taking a lot of these spots or showing their worth at this combine. Guess what that does to the Power Five schools? Wait a minute. We can't allow y'all to come over here, because that's taking spots from them.
Yep.
At the end of the day, you put everybody together. Because if you're a football player, you're a football player. And I just don't think it's right. And the NFL knows it's not right.
Yeah,
but they're afraid.
That's why
they're afraid.
The HBCU Combine.
Yeah, they're afraid. They are really afraid that somebody that they know or a friend or whatever, when they see these other guys who run and putting up 4.25, 4.5, you know what I'm saying? They're afraid that, okay, we got to exclude this person. So, but hold on. They went to a Power Five. They went to HBCU. Who cares? Yeah. If you're a football player, when you get to that league, when you get to the NFL, yeah, we call people bums and all that, but you had to be real special to make it to the NFL, period. I don't care who you are. I think the NFL is scared that they're going to have to exclude other people from Power Five conferences, because what they're getting from the HBCU is that you're getting a kid who's hungry. Mm-hmm. It's just like anything else. If you're a hungry kid, you're going to fight. You're going to fight. I just think it's just bad. It's just bad on the NFL. I just think it's bad.
Yeah, I think they should combine it, bro, because one, you and the coaches, GMs, all the major players are in Indy anyway, right? They're there all week. What's another day or two gonna hurt?
Exactly.
Right? So why not combine it and get the best talent all in one place at one time? So as a coach, I would love it, because now I don't have to send scouts, or either I might go to the HBCU Combine, right? Like, why not just bring everybody to Indy or wherever they may be, right? And just have it under one house. Like, if it extended another week or two, you could be missing out on a player that could be a future Hall of Famer. You just don't know.
Exactly.
Right? Just because you trying to get all the spotlight on the Power Five kids and the HBCU kids got to fight and struggle just to make the roster, they might go to that combine and show up and show out.
Exactly.
Right? So now it might give them an opportunity to one possibly get drafted. Right now, you ain't getting drafted in the 7th round, Mr. Irrelevant and things of that nature. So just combine it. Like you already have people there, right? It don't make no sense having a separate combine, excluding the HBCUs when we always talking about diversity and inclusion. We talking about combining resources, and they've always talked about how HBCUs need more spotlight. Well, you got the biggest show on earth, the biggest event going on in the off season is in Indy. Bring everybody to Indy, extended by 2 days or so. Get kids, because then you got some of the Power 5 kids ain't even working out.
Exactly.
So it ain't like you spending a ton of time on the field portion. A lot of these cats like, man, look, I'm gonna just do it at my pro day. I'm just coming down to just interview.
Exactly.
Do medical. So extending it a day or two is not gonna hurt the NFL. It's really would increase the ratings of the damn combine.
And I think at the end of you first of all, you have the building. One, you got the building. Two, you got all the scouts. And hell, 80% of the people there is black anyway.
Thanks.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be 80% of the players are black anyway. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, another day, okay, they out of school anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you can go a Monday and a Tuesday. If the kid about to leave to go to the NFL anyway. So and a lot of them already done graduated. So what? A Monday or Tuesday ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Yeah, it's already out of school anyway. So it's like,
yeah, you go from Friday to Tuesday. You can go from Friday to Tuesday. Because like you said, a lot of these kids, they're not going to compete. They're going to just do the interviews. You know what I'm saying? And I think the interviews to me are biased because you hear all these other things. They ask you questions about, your parents. Like, to me personally, I think the interviews, if you need to go talk to the coaches and things like that, I think they get in too many people's personal business.
Oh, yeah.
Look,
I get it, bro. Like, you invest in millions and millions of dollars. I want to make sure my investment is I'm going to get the rate of return. So I get it. I have no problem with you digging into my past because you want to make sure, right? But don't make it personal. Well,
exactly.
I heard your mom used to be a prostitute back in the day.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Mom was on drugs. Your daddy was on drugs. That's when you starting to make it too personal. But I have no problem when they're digging, trying to make sure that the return on investment is good. So it's kind of what it is, though.
Yeah, I just think I think a lot of GMs and owners, they go too personal, and I'm looking like, well, hell, y'all ain't the nicest, y'all ain't the cleanest jokers in the world. Like, come on now, let's be honest. Yeah, but I agree. I think they need to combine it because at the end of the day, if you're a football player, you're a football player. I don't care where you come from, and a lot of times when these kids come from HBCU, they shine because they know they got to work 10 times harder than anybody else. Yep. So I think they should combine it. I mean, the NFL got enough money, man. They need to quit playing with this thing, having separate stuff.
It's not, like I said, it's not like you making the coaches come back. Like, they're already there.
Right? Exactly. They're already there.
Just extend it a couple days and boom, and you're done. Right?
Exactly.
And I think it'll be a great PR move for the NFL. Like, they're always looking for ratings, always looking for
exactly.
And this will go a very long way in making that stride for the whole diversity and inclusion and not excluding the black, HBCU colleges. So I think it'll be a good move for the NFL. So Roger Goodell, make it happen, my guy.
Yes, sir. You can do it.
All right, man. Look, man, it was a story a couple of weeks ago, man. We never dove into it. Eric Bieniemy is taking the OC job at UCLA, and he's also the associate head coach. Why can't Bieniemy get an NFL job, bro? NFL head coach. Like, this is mind-boggling. I want to get your thoughts on it.
Man, I don't know if my prediction was wrong. I thought he was going back to Kansas City. Honestly. Yeah, I thought surely he was going back to Kansas City. I don't know, man. I don't know if his coaching style ruffled a lot of feathers, but the Chiefs as a whole was able to deal with it, and they understood what he was trying to accomplish. Because with Washington, I would have never came to Washington. I would have stayed in Kansas City. One, because you had a lame duck coach.
Yeah.
Two, he'd been on a whole bunch of interviews that I guess didn't go well or didn't go over well, or is people talking about being enemy himself, where a lot of players don't want to play for him. Now, from a Kansas City standpoint, Patty Mahomes was like, bring him back. Like, get this dude, Canada. I mean, the guy that we got now, the OC, get him up out of here, bring the enemy back. So if either that, you know, he stick to his guns of how he coaches and he believes in what he does, or people just don't want to be with him. They don't want to deal with him. I just don't know, man. I just don't. It's just mind boggling because you giving young dudes.
When they winning in Kansas City, nobody talked about how his coaching style is, how hard he is on players. Like when you winning, I guess maybe all that swept under the rug.
I don't think it's swept under the rug. I think they genuinely like the enemy and his coaching style, or they wouldn't have been the 6th doggone AFC championship. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the and then what people never talked about this season, they talked about how Spags, which he did a great job from the defensive side of the ball, but they never really talked about how Kansas City was averaging 28 to 30 points a game, and it came all the way down to 17. Now, if Andy Reid was the general behind them winning and scoring all these points, how the hell you couldn't get past 17 this year? And the common denominator was Eric Bieniemy leaving. So you go from scoring 28 to 30 points a game to down to 17. Well, who the common denominator? Who left?
Yeah, no doubt.
And two, you didn't have Cheetah last year when you won the championship, and you still was averaging 30 points.
Yeah.
So you lose the enemy, you go from 30 to 17. That's a big drop off in the NFL.
Hell yeah.
That's a big drop off. So I just think I just don't get it. I don't know if it's his personality when he goes in there, or people have been talking and he's basically been blackballed.
Yeah, it got to be something in these interviews, bro. And it's just mind-boggling. It's actually sad that he's not good enough to have a coordinator job in NFL.
Exactly.
And the kid, like I said, he's been a part of a winning culture. He's won in college. Like he was a great back. Like to not have a job and got to take a UCLA OC position. Damn, like how quick we fall. And, hopefully, he can, bounce back and he'll be in the NFL again maybe next season. But, jeez, like, bro, what is it going to take for him possibly to take a college head coaching job to prove he can be a head coach?
Well, I think what's going to happen with him is I think he's going to go from if Foster can get that team to perform, him and Foster can get that team to perform, I think being able to get ahead. Right? Sean Foster, yes. Yeah, the running back. Yeah. I think he will get a head coaching job in college. But you're right, it's sad because you had the coach at San Diego who was horrible, and they gave him a job. You had 2 first-year coordinators in Philly to get head coaching jobs.
Yeah. You
see what I'm saying? So you got a lot of dudes that are first-year coordinators that is getting head coaching jobs in the NFL, where this man has coached with Andy Reid, have been the AFC championship since Patty Mahomes became the starter 6 years. There have been the 2 Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowls with them. And you mean to tell me he's not even qualified?
Mm-hmm.
It has to be something with him, or like I said, people have been talking and he's been blackballed.
Yeah, you could clearly feel he's been blackballed because can he even come and be a QB coach? Like something like you can find a roster spot on your coaching staff for a talented play caller, innovative mind. Yeah, I get, being under Andy Reid, he take all the limelight and the shine. But listen, I know Andy Reid ain't thinking all them plays.
Hey, listen, it showed this. That's my point in saying what I said. It showed if Andy Reid was still there, they still averaged 17 points for the majority of the season with the same receivers, right?
Yeah.
Bieniemy was there last year. They was averaging 28, 30. They was averaging between 28 and 30 points with the same receivers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when he leaves, you drop down to 17 points a game. That's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sad,
That's a
man. But
problem.
hopefully, like you said, he bounced back, man, and UCLA shine and he get his opportunity to be a head coach somewhere because he's been around the league a long time, man.
Exactly.
Not every coach is head coach material, but I honestly I think he could be a great head coach.
Yeah,
Like,
I believe that.
man, when you get to the NFL, bro, you gotta find ways to motivate pros, right?
Exactly.
And if a pro don't want to play for you, they're not gonna play for you.
Yeah,
But
they're
you
not.
gotta be hard on them. Like cats, if you want to be great, you want to be held accountable as your coach to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so we'll see, man. Good luck to Bieniemy out in UCLA. Hopefully he can bounce back, man, and he'll be back in the league real soon. But
For
let us keep
sure.
going, sticking with the NFL, man. Russell Wilson's been making a lot of news lately. He got Super Bowl aspirations. Broncos and Sean Payton gotta, make a decision real soon before the league year starts. And I think in about another week and a half. If Russ gets cut by the Broncos, I don't see nobody trading for him. What's the best landing spot for Russ Wilson?
Man, listen, Russ needs to go to Pittsburgh. I think that's the best landing spot for him. One, you got talented young receivers. You got two good running backs with Warren and Najee Harris. You got a real good defense, and I think that's the best landing spot for him. If they release Russ, I'm sitting on the bench because you owe me $39 million.
Facts. Facts.
I mean, let's keep it honest. You owe me $39 million. You owe me $39 million if you cut me. Yeah. So if you cut me, give me my $39 million.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's guaranteed money. And guess what? I won't sign to the middle of the season. Because guess what? People know Kenny Pickett is terrible. He is not the answer. He's not the answer for Pittsburgh. So at the end of the day, I'll sit there and wait it out. Get all my $39 million, and then I'll move forward. I ain't worried about it no more.
Yeah, Pittsburgh will be a good look, and I'll kind of wait and see what the lay of the land is going to be with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. I think Minnesota will be a good look. Minnesota got a plethora of weapons on the outside. And I think Russ still got some left in the tank. He showed this past season, he can still do it, right? But, he's not the Russ of old. He's not the Russ from Seattle. He's not going to be making plays on the fly. Like, if you can keep him from turning the ball over, he showed he can play well. Like, he gave the Broncos some hope this season.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he had 28 touchdowns, 6 picks,
which is not
somewhere
bad.
on the line.
Which is not bad.
Which it's not bad. I just think Russ. I think Russ is delusional in some aspects because you can have Super Bowl aspirations, but you're gonna have to play like it. Like I just think going to Denver was a bad spot for him. Yeah, I think ever since that Super Bowl blunder of them throwing the ball, and I think Russ, ever since then, it's been downhill for Russ.
Yeah.
And you can look at his play. You can look at how the team went south after that happened, and people started getting hurt, and Seattle just went down. And I just think that particular situation ruined that team. But I also think it put a bad spotlight on Russ because Russ was all about Russ, and he wasn't all about the team. And I think it messed him up.
Yeah. I don't get the Pittsburgh Steelers talking about they got full faith in Kenny Pickett. Right, but that boy, he showed me enough. It's been 2 years?
Yeah.
You showed me enough, though. Like, you're not it. It's time to move on, make him a backup, and get you a true NFL quality starter.
And like you said, everybody's not a franchise quarterback. I mean, you picked them. You did it off a homer pick. It was a homer pick for you, number one, because he'd been in and that's why I hate when guys pitch. That was a bad pick for Pittsburgh. I would have just sucked it up and waited till another crop of quarterbacks come out. Kenny Pickett was a good college quarterback, but I mean, I mean, he won his division 1 year. I mean, he won the ACC championship 1 year. Okay, yeah. But at the end of the day, I would have left him where he was. I wouldn't have drafted. I went with a veteran, held on to another crop of quarterbacks, came out and went from there. But I mean, if I'm Pittsburgh, you really got to make a change because them guys getting. I mean, them guys straight up. You can't just keep wasting guys' careers because y'all thinking this dude is going to come around, and he's not. He's really not.
Yeah, most definitely. So when we talk about landing spot, what you think best landing spot for Saquon Barkley? He didn't get franchised.
Which I'm glad he did get franchised. I mean, they doing these running backs wrong, bro. Like at the end of the day,
They
the running.
definitely devaluing the market for running backs, no question.
Yeah, it's like you paying running back position went from 15 million getting franchised to 11. I mean, not saying that's not bad money, but at the end of the day, you got all these other guys getting 20 million, 30 million for 1 year.
And it's crazy
So
how like you never see that in the NFL. Like you always see the money going up. Like you never see money going down.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
the market be up.
And the only position that the money went down was for the running backs.
And it's sad, like we always talk about, this is always through history. Like you got to have a great running game to win a championship. Like you got to have some level of a running game. You can't just pass the ball 50 times because if you see that, you're not gonna win.
Exactly, you're not gonna win.
You gotta have something. So for me, I think a good spot for Barkley, maybe Minnesota, with Cousins. They need a weapon, right? From the back, maybe the Houston Texans, maybe. But I think
Barkley going to Dallas.
I mean, he got
because Pollard,
Pollard
is the free agent. Minnesota, I wouldn't go to because you don't know how Cousins going to come back from that Achilles.
Okay.
I mean, he got Achilles injury, so ain't no telling how he gonna perform with that. Or Saquon. I mean, I think, like I said, the Houston Texans would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dallas would be a good one for him to go to, to stay where he is. I think Philly would be a good one because
Swift had a good year though.
Yeah, but he's a free agent.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he's a free agent. Depending on how old boy doing out in Cleveland, he might can go there or he might can go to Baltimore, depending on what Derrick Henry does. Because from my understanding, Derrick Henry is supposed to go to Baltimore. So I mean, Saquon got some places where he can go. Now, if I was him, I might go to Cleveland.
Cleveland be a good one because I mean, you don't know how that leg injury with what's my guy, man, Chubb, he's gonna bounce back. But I'm sure Barkley want to get paid. But doing 2 nights, it's about time to win. Like, can I get to a spot where I got an opportunity to play in the playoffs?
Correct.
Like you made money. Like you can always make endorsements. At some point, bro, I want the bag, but I also want to have an opportunity to win and get in the playoffs.
And like if I'm Barkley, I'm going after like 3 years, 45 million, 15 million a year. That ain't hurting the cap. And plus, they don't increase the cap anyway. So you give me 3 years, 45 million, fully guaranteed. That's 45 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you hit the market again.
Yeah, hit the market again after 3 years.
Yeah, you hit the market again. I mean, that'd be smart. Like taking these 5-year deals, 6-year deals, it's not the play.
As a running back, that's dumb.
Cutting 3 or 4 anyway.
Exactly. And for a running back, 3 years, 45, fully guaranteed, you can ride it out.
Yeah. But we'll see, man. You know, free agency starting, I think March 13th, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. You know, it come fast and furious that good signing. I'm ready to see if Chris Jones gonna re-sign with Kansas City.
I think that's why they franchised Snead.
Yeah, so
and they got rid of Badell Scanlon. Yeah.
I'm ready to see if Mike Evans go back to, Tampa Bay. Will Baker get a big deal? Like what Kirk Cousins gonna do? Like it's gonna be real intriguing to see what the landscape of the free agency when it first started.
Yeah, because me personally, I wouldn't pay Kirk Cousins a lot of money. You coming off Achilles? Nah, bro. No.
He ain't no runner, though, so it don't matter.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Yeah, you ain't no runner, but are you gonna be scared to stand in that pocket and complete them passes that you've been completing before you tore your Achilles?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't pay him a whole ton of money.
Yeah, we're gonna see, man. So next week, free agency pop open. I think a week and a half. We'll see, man. You know, I was reading. Let's talk about Mikael Hardman, the Kansas City receiver. There's a lot of chatter about him leaking the game plans to opponents when he was with the Jets. We know he got traded back to Kansas City during the season. What's your thoughts on, if it's true, what should the NFL do to Mikael Hardman if we find out that he was leaking game plan? What do you think?
Nothing. At the end of the day, you didn't do nothing to the Patriots. They won Super Bowls. I mean, let's keep it 100. They let the Patriots tape. They tape players. They tape practices. They tape games. They knew the signals. They knew the signs. They knew everything about what was going on from every season. You didn't do none of them. You got a fine. You took a couple of draft picks. Okay, you got a fine. You didn't take the Super Bowls. If they really wanted to do something, you take the Super Bowls. But they didn't do nothing. Yeah. And my thing is this. How all of a sudden this comes out? Why you didn't do it when he got traded back to Kansas City?
Yeah. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. When there's smoke, there's fire,
but this is the thing, though. You don't think these coaches talk to each other and tell you what other coaches do? How they run their operation? So I was like, what? So what? So what? And then you got rid of the man. You didn't play him. You got rid of him. You didn't think he was good enough. So what? And the Jets was terrible anyway.
I mean, he been a bust. Like, he too fast, too skilled. Like, he ripped it in Georgia. He got to the league. He just didn't find his niche. I think that's a bust, honestly.
Yeah, like I'm not getting upset about that. Listen, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just like anything else. Bad coaching cost San Francisco the championship. The Jets ain't going nowhere. I don't care. A-Rod, my guy, but the Jets ain't going nowhere. Thanks. Went to the wrong team, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I don't think the NFL gonna do anything if it does come out to be true. I think it hurts him, right? Because, you know, outside of Kansas City, nobody wants you.
Exactly.
And, you know, if players feel like they can't trust you, teams feel like they can't trust you, like, why would I sign this guy? Because if he's not playing, he's just disgruntled. He might leak out stuff. Like, you just never know.
But this is the thing, though. He's been in the league, what, 6, 7 years? 8 years?
5. At least, yeah.
So let's say
at least 6.
Okay, so he'd have been in the league 6 years. He didn't do it. You didn't hear nothing about this in Kansas City, right? He go to the Jets. The Jets is horrible. He not playing. What benefited him leaking the playbook to the Jets? What is going to benefit him? And he ain't playing anyway. And the Jets still losing. You know what I'm saying? The Jets still losing. So what benefit? What is the benefit? I just think it was other players disgruntled for him to go. They let him go back to the Kansas City. He gets the winning catch and the touchdown, and now everybody in their feelings.
Yeah, they definitely did him a solid. That's for sure.
Exactly.
They're the worst team in the league. Nobody wanted him. That's the problem. Like,
there you go. There you go. So I mean, at the end of the day, he's still the ball. Exactly. I mean, he ain't got the best of hands because he almost cost him the Buffalo game. People forgot about that. He almost cost him the Buffalo game when he fumbled on the goal. Matter of fact, he had 2 fumbles.
Boy, Featherstone.
Exactly. So I mean, at the end of the day,
these screens, I think my hand's better than that boy.
I know my hand's better than his. That ain't even enough for no discussion. And I ain't never ran an NFL route. Yeah, I ain't with him. I know my hand's better than his. Matter of fact, I think my hand's better than everybody on that team. Me and Kelsey will go at it. But everybody else, oh yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting, man. I hope for him that shit don't come out to be true. But where there's smoke, there is fire.
There's fire.
Let's get to our last topic, man, for NFL. I think everybody saw it on social media. Cam Newton getting into a scuffle at the 7-on-7 tournament. You know, with other coaches. With your son being in the AAU 7-on-7 environment in football, what was your thoughts when you seen Cam Newton? He's a NFL great, right? Could be potentially a Hall of Famer, right? What's your thoughts on seeing that situation with Cam Newton?
You can't let that happen. And I'm not putting it all on Cam. I just think the coaches in general, when you're dealing with kids, and you're coaching kids, and you can't allow that to happen. You go talk about that on a side note. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is the issue with AAU basketball. You know, this 7-on-7 football. Instead of you out there coaching kids and being the people that they look up to, I think coaches, parents take it above and beyond of what it has to be. You know what I'm saying? These kids are out here to play. These kids are out here to have a good time. But the parents, living out their dream throughout with the kids, and that should have never happened. If you and they wonder why kids act the way they act on the field because the parents out there cussing, talking crazy, and if they mad with the coach, they talking crazy to the coach. The coach can't coach, and instead of if you brought your kids,
referees and
yeah, like it's not about that. If it's about the kids, it's about the kids. But the parents and some of these coaches who think they're coaches who never played the game, but just because they watch the game, they feel like, oh, I can coach these kids into being, top flight talent. They got too much involvement, and they wonder why these kids act the way they act on the field because the parents are acting crazy, the coach is acting crazy, and you can't have that. And they wonder why these kids walk around with their pants hanging off their behind, disrespecting other grown-ups because their coaches are doing it. Now, from reading the article that I read this week, the two guys that Cam got into it with, they used to be coaches for Cam's team.
Yep.
They used to be part of his team. And they broke off and they got their own team. And Cam has his own team. And there's been a little back and forth between all of them. Mm-hmm. But even if we got a back and forth, it shouldn't get to the point to where you get out there and y'all want to start fighting. Or you know what I'm saying, you acting the fool in front of all of these kids. So what you expect the kids to do?
Yeah, they're gonna act the same way.
They're gonna act the same way. Now I do respect Cam, he didn't throw no punches. But at the end of the day, as grown-ups and as coaches, you cannot allow that to happen. Because guess what? Some of the kids that's on Cam's team play with some of the kids on the other team.
Yeah.
And so you can't allow that to happen. They got to do better. But Cam did apologize, and I respect that of him. But coming out and saying, I can't allow myself to get caught up in those kind of situations, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But a lot of people wanted Cam to stop. But if you stop, you're not helping it. You're not solving the situation.
No, you're not.
You know what I'm saying? You're not solving it. So he's a big enough man to say, hey, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. But parents and these coaches need to look at themselves and just let these kids play and be who they need to be.
Yeah, it's definitely an unfortunate situation. I'm glad Cam came out and apologized. He's a big-time public figure. But, it's a learning lesson for Cam too, right? When you talking shit, we grew up on the playground, bro. So we know in the city, in the hood, sometimes shit talking could go left, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this one I saw on social media the two coaches on somebody's podcast. They were talking about how, Cam was getting real disrespectful, talking mad shit. And, I see my brother getting into it with the guy. So that's how the other guy jumped in with the dreads. And, Cam got to hold some accountability too.
Mm-hmm.
What's going too far with trash talk, right? Like, look, we all grew up trash talking. We know that shit can get real heated. But it shouldn't get to the point where you in this big public spectacle, you're the public figure, and guess what the headline is going to be?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton in the fight. Cam Newton could have been protecting himself. Cam Newton could have not even started it. But the headline is Cam Newton in the fight.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate, like you said, it got to that point. You got kids watching. Like now is a perception of Cam a hothead. Like now you portraying an image of yourself that may not even be true. We know Cam is a fun-loving probably guy. He probably like to have fun, but the trash talking, you gotta maybe dial it down a little bit. And the other coaches too, like Cam, like how he is, like you coached with him.
Mm-hmm.
Could they have been a little salty? I don't know. And you coaching against your former, people you done ran with your boy.
Employee.
Boy, you gonna have some extra sauce in that fucking trash talk. Like you gonna,
without question.
That level. But to get to that level, man, getting a big scuffle like that, man, is unfortunate. These kids got to see it. These parents, and look, the parents are next level with this AAU football, bro. It is ridiculous. Like we was at me, JD, and Keon was at one of Bryce's games. Man, one of these other parents were getting on the refs, like, bro, you sorry. Man, that was a bad call. Man, we should take it outside. Like, bro, I'm looking at it like, oh my God. Like, bro, these parents get out of control at times, though. But shout out to Cam, man, for apologizing, man. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But this is what people don't like about the AAU circuit, right? Like the football, the basketball. It can go too far from a parent standpoint, coaches talking shit, and it puts a black eye on that AAU circuit. You know what I'm saying?
Without question, because parents need to scale back, man. Listen, I understand you want your kid to be the best that he can be. I understand you want your kid to get a scholarship or get to the next level. But the problem is the parents put so much pressure on the kid that the kids can't. That's the only thing they can do is play. Football or basketball. You know what I'm saying? And then when they don't get this is the problem. Parents put so much pressure on the kids that if they don't get a scholarship, they take it out on the kids. Well, you made me spend all this money taking you here, taking you there, buying you this and buying you that, and you couldn't even get a scholarship. Well, guess what? You didn't do it for the right reason.
Yeah.
Either you did it because you love your kid and you want him to succeed, or you just did it so that you can get out, of the hood or get out where you're from. And you had it. But at the end of the day, it's about the kid.
About the kid.
The bottom line is about the kid. If you don't want the kid to play or you don't want to spend your money, tell the kid that. Don't put all this onus on the kid. These are young men and young women. You putting all this pressure on these kids to get you out of a situation that you created for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think they're doing these kids an injustice. They're putting too much pressure on the kids. Let the kids be a kid. They want these kids to be grown up before it's time for them to be a grown up. And if they don't make it, then everybody's mad.
Yeah.
Everybody's mad. And you can't do that to these kids, but that's what's going on. And I think what they need to start doing, listen, if you're a parent that calls any kind of ruckus, you're banned for a year.
Yeah.
Period. You're banned for a year. You're banned from any 7-on-7 tournament that we have. You're banned for a year. You got to put stipulations on parents. Like you say, parents getting mad with the ref. Why you want to fight the ref? At the end of the day, it's all kind of bad calls in any kind of sports. So you got to deal with it. Parents need to stop, man. Parents need to stop.
Yeah. So you saying you don't be yelling on the sideline, though?
Man, listen, I'll be more or less yelling at my son. If anything, like, man, you ran the wrong route or something. But at the end of the day, they gotta, like Don Staley, they gotta fail. They gotta learn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every call is not gonna be the right call. I don't care how great your son is. Guess what? When he goes to that school or that college, it's gonna be somebody just as good.
Yeah, facts.
Period.
Facts. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. But like you said, hopefully it don't happen again. But you see it all the time. Like you see a lot of parents getting into it, parents yelling at coaches because their son or daughter not playing. Like it's a total mess, though. It's a total mess, and that's how people don't sometimes just be done with AAU.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or the whole 7-on-7, it can get aggressive. Like you know, I've seen kids. You know, it's an aggressive 7-on-7 is aggressive because it's flag or it's touch. Like that shit is contact.
Hey man, listen, I saw it last week, and my son done played level 82 14U, and what Torrey Smith got going on, he got a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Torrey Smith has a well-oiled machine. Like he has a well-oiled machine. He has those kids ready, and they come ready to play. And you got like when you get to this level, you got to come ready to play. Football has changed from where we used to play. We play in the backyard, side yard. We talk trash. Yeah, time out. I'm tired. We'll get some water out the refrigerator. You bring everybody a little smaller cups. Out the spigot. Yeah, you got the little green joint. And if you ain't had the spigot, you got to get up under the spigot, put two hands under there, and drink the water.
You're trying to go inside because your mom gonna tell you
stay in the house. Like you weren't trying to go inside. So I just think, like I said, now when you get to this level, you got to come ready to play. But I just think that the parents overall need to take a chill pill because every kid who's out there playing 7-on-7, they're not going to be a football player. They might be a doctor. They might be a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that for a lot of our kids, I want them to be productive. grown men, young ladies come out and do what they need to do in their life to, live a good life. But everybody's not going to make it to the NFL, and everybody's not going to get a scholarship. And I think that's where we go wrong in assuming that that's going to happen for my kid every day. Now, you want it to happen. You want your kid, but sometimes life just changes the course, and that's where it goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, bro. But we'll see, man. NFL never sleeps all year
Never.
round. But shit, it's all good, man. Let's talk about some NBA, man. Who's your MVP front runner right now? We got about 30 games left in the NBA before the playoffs start. Who's your MVP front runner?
Man, I gotta say, I watched Tatum last night. Tatum is balling.
He balling.
Tatum is balling. Tatum is balling. Tatum is getting it done. Man, that boy out in Oklahoma City. I think the top four for me is Tatum, Shea. I think Antetokounmpo is balling, and I got to go with Edwards.
Okay.
Edwards in Minnesota. I think they cooking with grease out there, and I think those. I mean, Jokic being Jokic. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he's doing, but I just think those four guys is really putting in. They really showing up. I mean, Luka's showing up as well. He's doing Luka stuff, but I just think Tatum. Oh boy, Shea, Edwards, and Giannis.
All right. For me, man, it got to be SGA. My man, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander out in OKC. Yes, Tatum having a banner year. The team got the best record in the league. Joker doing what he do. And Edwards got Minnesota, and with Kyle Towns doing well. But when you look at those players, they got another all-star. Right? So for me, it got to be SGA because young team, nobody really expected much out of OKC. You showed the flashes last couple years. They're coming. The young talent is getting better. Now OKC is another number 2 seed behind Minnesota. It's like the expectation just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right? We knew what the expectation was for Tatum because he's been playing well in the playoffs for the last 7 seasons. Joker damn near averaging a triple-double every year. But he got Jamal Murray. Tatum got Brown. Andy Edwards got Carl Towns as an all-star. But who does SGA have?
I mean, he got Chet. Chet has been playing well, but I feel what you're saying because their team is young and they don't really have that. They don't have no veterans. Everybody pretty much on their team is a young team. So I do agree. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, he's really. It just seemed like when they got rid of Chris Paul and Paul George, they just looked at Oklahoma City as okay, they're gonna be a doormat. Mm-hmm. And I think the best trade that when they traded Paul George and they got Shea from in that trade, when those young guys got and you look at their team was hungry. They might be young, but they come to play every night, and they got all the skill positions covered.
They got it covered.
You got one. They got it covered. Yeah, they got it covered. And I do. Hey, listen. What the only thing is, what you do in the playoffs.
Facts, no doubt about
it. And for me, Tatum has played well in the playoffs, but when he got to the championship game, Tatum was over here hanging out with me on the couch watching the game because he wasn't doing nothing. Yeah, he came up small, and I think that's why Tatum. And Boston looked damn good.
They rolling, dog.
But if Shea performs in the playoffs, if Edwards perform in the playoffs, that's gonna make a big difference.
Yeah, I think if they finish in that top 2, I think SGA got to get it. He got the numbers, led his team, no other all-star. Shit. Their team got anybody over 25? Shit, 27?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
So, yeah. So
I think they give it to Tatum. But I think they're going to give it to Tatum. If Boston finish first and don't have a drop-off or don't have I think they're going to give it to Tatum.
It's gonna be interesting, man. So we definitely gonna see they got about 30 games left in the NBA, and this is
Yeah.
where the money is on the line, especially with the
Mm-hmm.
play-in tournament, fighting for that, try to get in that top 6, scrapping at the end. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. So man,
Yeah.
let's change topic, man. You know, LeBron's always in the news for something, and this time is not for on the court, but what he said on Twitter. If people don't know the backstory, when Bronny James, his son, was playing well, LeBron made a statement, man, my son playing so well, he can start for the Lakers right now. Fast forward, Bronny's not playing well, and there were talks about him falling out of the big board of the being drafted, possibly if he came out this year for the NBA. LeBron comes out, man, let him be a kid, you know, blah, 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 blah. So once he said that, Twitter exploded. People are now getting on LeBron. These Springs, as having a kid that's in sports, what are your thoughts about LeBron's comments, kind of backtracking what he said earlier?
Man, let the kid play. You caused this.
Mm-hmm.
Let your kid play. Listen, you came out and said, I want to play with my son. First of all, Bronny got to develop a jump shot, period. I don't care. This is where I have an issue with. If your kid ain't performing to the highest level, and I get Bronny had the heart problem. So I know this year for me is a wash.
So Mulligan, he get a
It's
pass.
a wash. You get a pass for this year because Bronny is dealing with something that a lot of these other kids didn't have to deal with. Yeah, your dad LeBron, and people think you're gonna be close. Just play now. Bronny had a health issue. Bronny needs to go back to school. Bronny probably need to do 3 years of school.
Could be.
For real. For what I've seen, he needs to do 3 years of school. LeBron himself needs to taper down the expectations for his son. You know what I'm saying? Your son is not as good as you think he is, or you think that you want him to be. It's going to take time for Bronny to reach that level of a lot of these dudes because you don't see a good jump shot, you don't see a mid-range game, which I'm surprised, and I just think that Bronny is going to take him some time. Now he had the heart situation, so that's why I think he's going to have to put in time this offseason to get himself better. I think that do a lot of his stuff because you're still nervous no matter who you are. If you got a heart condition and you could have died, you're still kind of nervous because you in the back of your mind it's still there.
X.
So I just think LeBron, he say stuff and then when it doesn't work out how he wanted to work out, then he comes back and says, "Wait, no, you said it. You said it." So don't go after other people saying that your son is better than these other dudes when you know the reality is he's really not. And at the end of the day, listen, Bronny need a couple of more years. Like you never heard Michael Jordan say, my son is better than all these other dudes. You never heard him say that.
Yeah.
But other people felt like Michael Jordan's son should be better than what he was because he's Michael Jordan's son. That's not always true.
Yeah.
That's just not always true. And I hate when people themselves or the media put pressure on kids who dads were great players. You put pressure on the kid that, oh, you can be like your dad. No, you can't. Everybody's different.
Yep.
Everybody's different and everybody's going to play different. And you got to take it for what it's worth. And right now, Bronny need to do another year of school. Bronny's not going to get drafted. He come out now. Who's going to draft him?
Somebody
He's going to be a free agent. I wouldn't take a chance. This is the thing. If you are smart and intelligent, I'm not taking a chance on Bronny right now. You give me a dude who done did 3 years of college and I don't care if you LeBron's son or not. I'm not taking a chance on Bronny right now because Bronny really is not developed all the way. One. Two, you still got that heart issue in the back of your mind.
Oh, yeah,
let me see you do a whole year of full contact, full shooting, full playing. Then okay, your sophomore year I might take you. But right now, I won't take a chance on Bronny. No.
I will backtrack on that. Like, if you look at NBA as a whole, it's not a lot of players that could shoot. It's a lot of players got holes in their game. Some cats can't shoot a fucking brick on the side of the barn. But one thing I will give Bronny, and we've all seen Bronny mature on social media and how his game has flourished. One thing you cannot coach is hustle.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I think teams can look at. Your offense game can always develop, but you cannot teach defense. You cannot keep taught, and you cannot teach determination and hustle. And I think that's his niche to get to the NBA, right? If you can lock down on defense, you can put that padlock on people, your jump shot's gonna come, right? Your offensive game is gonna come because who in the hell playing defense in the NBA like that anyway?
True. I mean, I agree.
You can get on the fast break and fucking hustle and get 6-7 points. Yeah, look at Draymond. Draymond got no offensive game, but what he do is he's smart.
Yeah.
He hustles. He plays D, right? He plays the right way, right? Yeah, you may not get to the first round pick. Look, and money's not your Bronny is not about money.
Yeah, money not it's
It's about just getting in the NBA, bro, and finding your niche. Prime example, Dylan Brooks. We don't look at Dylan Brooks as a great offensive guy. We look at him as a defensive guy that plays and talks shit.
But Dylan Brooks didn't play 1 year either. He played multiple years.
That makes it bad on Dylan Brooks because if you played 4 years of college, you should be better along offensively coming into the league.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be this bad on offense. Shouldn't be. I'd rather.
But see, he ain't the only one. There's a wrap of them.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot.
Yeah.
So yes, what LeBron said at the time, he probably shouldn't have said it. Definitely. But at the time, but real talk, if it wasn't his son could probably play for somebody in the league right now because how you play your style, hustle, defense, get on the fast break, finish at the rim. You can find your niche in the NBA, bro, because nobody's really playing defense like that.
Yeah, but I watched Bronny the other night. I've been watching USC, a lot of USC games late at night.
He looks timid, right?
And that's why I say.
And their team overall, I think, has not lived up to the expectation.
Exactly.
Going into the offseason, they had a top recruiting class, a lot of potential NBA lottery picks, and they've fallen on hard times, and they're definitely not doing well. I watched one game. I forgot who they might have been playing.
Colorado,
and they blew that 20-some point lead.
Yep.
Right, and went to overtime and lost. Like, I think the team expectation is definitely not there, and he's having a hard year. Like, I give him a pass, bro.
Yeah, I give him a pass.
And he may not even plan as hard as he want because he can't put.
He worried about his heart. Yes.
Right. So, yeah, we want to criticize LeBron, and it's rightfully so with the comments that he said he can start for the Lakers, and now you're backtracking. It's like, that's LeBron. LeBron say one thing and backtracks another. Like he always says that. That's his whole MO.
Yes.
He subliminal tweet. That's just him, right?
That's just him.
And I think even if Bronny comes back after 1 year, comes back at half this season, more power to him. Nothing wrong with developing. And even if he comes out and don't get drafted, somebody's gonna take a chance. But I guarantee you, if you hustle, play D, give it your all, somebody will give you a shot and will figure out offensively. Because he's not like he's a scrub, it's like he's scared to shoot.
No, he's not a scrub. Nah.
His niche is really defense and hustle. I think that's his niche to get to the league. If he decides to come out this year, that's got to be his niche to get on anybody's roster.
Yeah, because I just think, like you said, he's too timid right now. So if you're timid, and I know you timid, I can't draft you right now because I might be in a situation where I need you to hustle for this ball, and you don't hustle for this ball, then I got a whole big problem. So I think for Bronny, needs to come back another year and show that he's really healthy and he's really capable of doing what he needs to do and get them buckets, or just play defense and show that he's a great all-around player, you know what I'm saying, from the point guard standpoint.
Yeah, so shout out to Bronny, man, get healthy. First and foremost, as a parent, nobody wants to see their child go through any type of heart issue.
Exactly.
Gathers died on the court. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can happen.
That was a crazy joint that day. Yeah.
Regardless of the LeBron comments, backtracking, or saying he because probably start for the Lakers right now, man, at the end of the day, man, let this kid be a kid and get healthy for one. Because a heart issue is not to play with.
And not to play with, exactly.
But man, let's get to some NCAA basketball, and just NCAA in general. As we know, Caitlin Clark is tearing it up right now. She's about to break Pistol Pete Maravich's all-time scoring record. Been having it for a very long time. I think she's probably gonna break it on Sunday. She's 8 points away, something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was like it's like 8 points or something like that. Yeah.
So we figured she'll probably get that in the first quarter. A lot of buzz about her. She announced she's going to the WNBA draft this season. Do you think she's made the biggest impact ever on the women's college game?
Ever? I just think, well, for me personally, if you what she's done and I just think it's a combination. It ain't just her. It's a combination. And the reason why I say it's a combination is if South Carolina would have beat them, we wouldn't be talking about this. Yeah, we'd talk about she broke the record, but we wouldn't be talking about this. We'll be talking about LSU and South Carolina, how they went at it with each other. So I think from a standpoint, Dawn Staley basically put Caitlin Clark on the map by them losing to them. Yeah, she was a great shooter. Everybody knows she was a great shooter. But if you don't have that game, and if South Carolina goes on to beat them, nobody would care.
Yeah.
But when they beat South Carolina, that took it to another level because then it became Caitlin Clark and her squad in Iowa versus the girls from LSU. And it came down to being personal.
Thanks.
It came down to being personal. When it came down to being personal and people took sides, and that particular game made Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Them beating South Carolina made Caitlin Clark. That's what it boils down to. Now, is she one of the greatest shooters in the game? Damn right. Mug can shoot it from doggone. She can shoot it from 933 Wateree Boulevard and hit Richard Drive. You know what I'm saying? Look, the shooting is there.
Yeah, no doubt.
The shooting is there. But the issue that I got is with the NCAA because guess what? You still got a young lady that went to Francis Marion in South Carolina, got 4,061 points. And the only reason they don't, and I have an issue with the NCAA is because how can you move all the men records, but push the women record aside? Even with Katie Plum, she didn't have the record. The young lady from Kansas had a record.
Yeah,
she had the record. So if you're gonna, and her coach, Caitlin Clark, close put that out there. How can you have records, and records are made to be broken, but you throw these over to the side, sweep that under the rug, but then you have the men record crossover, whether it was D1, D1 AA, whatever, all the records crossed over. And I have an issue with that because what is the true record? The true record is 4,061.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to say college basketball, now granted, what she's done is great, but I still think it's a disparity because you don't acknowledge the people who really have the truth. Like I said, Pete Maravich didn't have the record because you didn't acknowledge the lady at Francis Marion who really has the record. Yeah. But that's the history that people don't want people to know about because they feel like, oh, well, we let them know about that. Then she got to play another year so she can get the record. You know what I'm saying? So basketball is a worldly sport. And then everybody should be included. Everybody should involve. And if you're going to put records out there, put the record out there. But I mean, but like I said, what Kagan has done is great. She's a great shooter. She's done, and it's nothing against her. It's nothing against her because she's just playing the game that she loves. Yeah. I just think if you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story and not just say, well, she done broke the record because there's multiple records out there that she would never touch.
Yeah, I don't think she's made the biggest impact ever. But what I will say, she has a lot of eyes on women's basketball.
Yes.
What South Carolina's doing, with Juju Watkins down in USC, what she's doing. The women's game is in a great place right now.
Yes, it is.
Angel Reese and LSU, whether we think Reese got things to do with her game and whatever. LSU is a brand, that team, they're rolling, right? Caitlin Clark has put the WNBA on notice. She put women's basketball. That girl's a star. She's
Yeah.
someone you can market around. You know, she's putting 20,000 in the seats right now. She's must see TV. I will give her that. She is must see TV. Shooting from the logo. You know, rest in peace the dead Kobe. Kobe probably would have been courtside at her games, right? Like she has helped put the spotlight on women's basketball, and is at an all-time high right now. And is at the
Now this
perfect
this
time going into the tournament. Like, you know, the ratings hopefully will be up. You know, hopefully people will be packing the stands. But I think not only just what Caitlin Clark is doing, there are other people who has helped push the women's game to where they are now. And it's at an all-time high, and I love it. So we're gonna give the ladies a round of applause for that. But to say the greatest impact ever, I would say no, but the young lady is phenomenal, man. She's
yeah,
carrying them.
yeah, she's carrying our and like I said, Dawn Staley to me and the teams that she's had, that game last year put Clayton. Nobody cared about. I mean, everybody knew Caitlin Clark was a great shooter, but I think by our winning that game, it put more emphasis on her
Yeah,
as a player and the things that she did in that game. Now, like you said, what Juju Watkins doing out there in Southern Cal,
the girl serious.
and her what the young lady is doing up in Syracuse, she got like almost three. She done passed a couple of people. She's like fifth on the list now.
Yeah,
The little point guard in Syracuse. So you have a lot of women. She's not getting the buzz, but it's a lot of women out there right now in this game that people just concentrating on Caitlin, but it ain't just Caitlin. It's other women who are producing,
mm-hmm.
and I think that's where we take for granted with the men's game. The men's game is okay, but it's more of a team game, and you really don't have no standouts like you have standouts in the women's game. And I think the NCAA needs to retract and see how can they. You got to promote it because these women are putting on great shows, a lot better shows than the men.
Thanks.
They just are. They just put on a lot greater. They putting on better shows, and I think the NCAA as a whole need to get their head out of their ass and promote these women, bro. Like you got talented women who are playing basketball at a real high level. And there's so much people who sit there, well, the men's man, listen, no matter what men do, they're going to get promoted regardless. They're going to get promoted regardless. But if you look at the all around, you got, and this is the thing, you got a lot of great women teams. You got the Ohio States, you got the UCLAs, you got the Colorados, you got the Utahs, you got a lot of women, Southern Cal playing great. You have a lot of teams who's just sitting right there, and they got like South Carolina, what a 40-some game winning streak. You
Yep.
know, they got them rolling. LSU is getting back in the groove again. You got Tennessee who's getting back in the groove again. You got a lot of teams that can win the championship in the women's game. And I think that's where the NCAA needs to get their head, like I said, out of their ass and promote the women's game just like you do the men's game. Because right now, the women's game is going to be exciting because South Carolina's looking for revenge if they play Iowa. Then you got, LSU just lost to South Carolina. So you got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of little stories going on that when it gets down to it, who's going to win?
Yeah,
So I think they need to do a better job.
yeah, like even like promoting a tournament. I think the last couple of years that made the change to the women's NCAA March Madness or whatever, like the
Yes.
whole branding deal. Like they need to be way more commercials, like promoting the
Yes.
women's game, kind of hyping it up. So NCAA definitely got to do a better job, getting on that. And while we talking about the NCAA, you saw the comment with Johnny Manziel.
Nah, I didn't see it.
He said he's going to start boycotting the Heisman until Reggie Bush gets his trophy back and get back into the Heisman picture. What's your thoughts on that? He said NCAA is on
Without
the top.
question. Without question. Bro, you took this man's trophy. Y'all had emails going back and forth when this thing went down, and y'all said the man didn't do anything wrong. Get the man back his trophy.
Yeah,
Get the man back his trophy.
I know.
He didn't commit no crime.
Yep.
He didn't commit no crime. And I think that's where these white guys, sit up in there and they well, we're just gonna take it or we're gonna do what we want to do. We don't care. But guess what, bro? Nobody respects the NCAA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If y'all went after Southern Cal for situations that other people have done, and y'all just took this man, took this man Heisman because y'all just felt like y'all needed to take it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, come on, man, it's a trophy. The man earned the trophy on the field.
Thanks.
And this is the thing. For somebody like Johnny Manziel who sees that, who knows what's going on, who knows how they operate, who's been there, done that, bro, get a man back his trophy.
And it was crazy is we saw the Johnny Manziel story, right?
Yes.
NCAA didn't find nothing. He told you he took money and all this stuff, but they didn't take his Heisman,
Exactly.
right? And let's give a round of applause to Johnny Manziel, man, for standing up for something that we know is right, right? There was nothing found wrong with Reggie Bush. USC lifted their ban against the man. Why can't the NCAA give him his trophy back and recognize him as a Heisman Trophy winner? He earned it.
Exactly.
So NCAA, you're now on the clock, and I hope that other people see it the way Johnny Manziel sees it and start boycotting the Heisman and NCAA for Reggie. And I think that will get more momentum than just one person doing it. So shout out to Johnny Manziel, man, and definitely rightfully so. Give Reggie his trophy back.
Give him his trophy back.
Well,
Should
that's
have
our
never took
last
it in the
topic
first
for the
place.
show for the day. 2-man show today.
Yes,
We all
sir.
a couple of weeks after that, taking a little break. But man, any parting words, D Springs?
Oh man, keep rocking with us. We got some things coming down the pipe in April. We'll be at the Gridiron game. Come out to St. James to watch these young kids. Put on a show. Shout out to Radcliffe Thomas for just giving us an opportunity to do the game with him and people around the DMV area and around the cities. Come and check it out, man. It's a great opportunity to see young kids who have put in work during these last couple of years, to become football players and great young men. Come and check them out.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, you see, we got a lot coming up, man, and we're coming up on our 50th anniversary, and I just feel like we just getting started. Right?
Yes, sir.
People. I was talking to my girls the other, today. People have that microwave mentality.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Everybody want instant success. Yeah, we feel like we should be further along, but you gotta have a crock pot mindset. Right?
Yep.
You gotta let this thing stew. Mess it up. You have a little success, you might feel some failures, but one thing you can't do is quit. Right? We
Exactly.
know we got a great brand. We know we got a lot of great things. We just got to continue to just keep pressing forward, get the right eyes on it, and that's all it takes, right? It just takes for one opportunity, one event. Sky's the limit. So, man,
Sky's the
definitely shout
limit.
out to all our supporters. Shout out to everybody that follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, that download the show, subscribe to the show, keep supporting. Tell your friend, tell your mama, your daddy. And we out of here, bro.
Yes, sir.
Talking about what we talking about. I can do this all day. What we talking about? What we talking about? What we talking about? I ain't feeling what you stand. What we talking about?